is the Podgram.
You see, you're on fire today.
Sitting here in the dark, I realized I didn't turn the lights on.
The Podgram with Tom and Christy.
It's sad that this is the world that we live in.
Here, let me stop and tie my shoe right in front of you so you can't drive.
The Podgram.
All of a sudden, I hear...
Well, I don't really care.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
Bust your ass.
Yeah.
The Podgram with Tom and Christy starts now.
Good morning, Podgrammers. It is 9 o'clock right here. We're on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We're on the TuneIn app on your phone. If you do a search for The Podgram, we're over there as well. And you can also, I haven't given any iTunes love for a while. You can also check us out on iTunes because we are over there. You can get the last 10 episodes. And so there you go. Right now, though, let's say good morning to our good friend Christy Bush. Hello. How are you?
Good morning.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. You pointed out just a moment ago that this is the final day. What the hell? Why are you all over my face? It's going to be Monday, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Let's go to you. So I can make some adjustments without my hand showing up all over the screen.
Oh, with my lovely logo.
All right. We're stopping right now until you erase that. We're pausing the Podgram right now until you reach over there and erase that.
No, we are not, because you know what? That is, and I think somebody actually started to erase it. If you know what I mean. No. Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
Where in the hell is the video? What is my video?
So on this final day of July.
I'm sorry. Were you talking?
Yes, I was.
Were you speaking? There. Did I hear some talkery going on? Why? You know what? I don't understand why it is that we've been streaming. I think we're streaming live to Facebook. Let's take a look and see. Oh, we're not on Facebook. That's the problem. That's what the deal is. Start broadcast, you schmo. I don't know why that happens.
I have got to learn more about this Facebook Live business.
I think they're not going to let us broadcast on Facebook Live. I think there's too much video of us over there because they're ass crackers. So you're going to have to go to YouTube. So while you do your chit-chattery over there, I'm going to put post a message up on Hatebook that you got to go to YouTube Live. And okay. as an extra added bonus, I'm going to go to YouTube to our video feed and get a link and share it.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do.
Well, today on the Podgram,
yes,
I have posted a couple of videos as I was straddling the internet to grab all of the little goodies for today.
Yeah.
And just for fun, if you're, one of those bathroom watchers and you've got nothing to do with 12 minutes or so of your life, there is a video that I posted of a dog stealing a GoPro. Because apparently there's a guy who is making a film. He's an amateur filmmaker, and he's trying to make a short film out of, he put a GoPro on a Frisbee, and he takes his dog to the dog park, and his dog likes to steal the Frisbee from other pets in the dog park. And he thought it would be amusing to make a short film out of it. Mm-hmm. So the dog steals the GoPro and won't give it back. And he goes on like this epic chase with this GoPro. And it's hilarious. Yeah. It really is. It's quite funny. So I posted a link to that on our Twitter, which will show up on our Podgram site as well. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about Frida Black, who had an ironic twist of fate. And if you're not familiar with who Frida Black is, you will be in just a little bit. And then we're going to talk about cutting bait.
Yes. Yes. Now, I shared on my timeline. So there you
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I don't understand. I don't understand. What's wrong with Facebook?
I don't, well, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, so meanwhile, back at the ranch. And why is it so crappy looking on YouTube? I thought it was supposed to look good on YouTube. What's up with that? It's weird. No. All right. Anyway, well, I'm going to ignore that. That's going on over there. I'm not sure what the deal with Facebook is, but it just is what it is. Okay. So, there was a video from the other day that I want to get started with.
Rant-worthy video.
A rant-worthy video, yes. Yes. I want to rant about this because let's and we're just going to go to the video.
Okay.
Let's go to the videotape, as they say in sportscasting. Hang on a second. I had to get my mouse over there, and then I can do this. But here we go. Here we go. What the hell? Damn it! Play.
Now that Trump has put a ban or a kibosh on transgender serving within the military. As of now, progressives are trying to use this as a tactic by saying that Trump is anti-LGBT. I don't see that as the case whatsoever. Here's just how I see it. The military is a very stressful environment. Combat is a very stressful environment. 2017, the most recent article published by the American Psychiatric Association has stipulated that gender dysphoria is still qualified as a psychological disorder. A psychological disorder bans you from any type of military service, from depression, anxiety, things such as that. A whole slew of things are involved in this. In the transgender community, there's a 61% suicide rate. Now, a lot of that can also be attributed to bullying and the way that society treats them, understandably so. I don't see this as being discriminatory in any way, shape, or form. There has to be a line drawn in the sand and a standard enforced that cannot be crossed by any means. The military is not a social experiment. For a very small demographic of people that want to enlist, you cannot change the course of how the entire organization works. Also, let's not forget to mention the fact that gender dysphoria first has to be diagnosed within the service member. They have to go through a series with their healthcare provider, the commander, and the person themselves wanting to go through the operation. This is all going to be paid for by the military. The actual sex change operation, the hormone replacement therapy, all of that is funded through the military, ultimately leading back down to guess who pays for it.
Let's pause him down for just a second.
As well.
Let's pause him down for just a second, and let me, no. I hate this computer. I hate technology. You know what? I don't think we even need to hear the other minute and a half of that. Because here's the deal. I have heard nothing but people yammering on about transgender. Transgender this, transgender that, transgender. Let me tell you what transgender is. And they've turned it into where you get to pick what gender you want to be. And that's not at all. Transgender is a fetish. It's a sexual fetish that's gone out of control. It's guys who wear women's clothes as a sexual fetish, and it's gone out of control. And so now they take their fetish out on it, because sometimes a fetish will take over your life, and everything you do has to be about that. And this really kind of fits. These guys that are dressing up and trying to pass themselves off to society is nothing more than an expanded sexual fetish. And I'm sorry, I don't think that the people that are in the military need to be subjected to somebody trying to be in the battlefield, trying to pass himself off as a different gender. So, yeah, I mean, that's...
Well, what about people who honestly feel as though they have always identified as another gender?
Well, here's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. Go have the sex change. Have the surgery. Have it done. Make it right. If you truly, honest to God, want to be a girl, then go be one. But just changing your clothes doesn't give you the right to go in the wrong bathroom. Doesn't give you the... But and again, nobody cares. I don't have a problem with anybody wearing anything they want to wear. I don't care if people want to go out in public and pass themselves off as something that they aren't. I don't care. It's your world, it's my world, and we all get to be whatever it is we want to be. But let's make no mistake how this gets started. This is a sexual fetish that's gone out of control in most cases. And if you want to be a girl, if you want to be a guy, then do that.
So what you're saying is people who have identified that they, in fact, feel as though they are a different gender. You're not talking about those people.
I'm not talking about those people.
You're talking about people who just errantly decide, oh, I think I'll wear a dress and pumps today.
Well, what I'm talking about, even the people, even the people who feel like they are the wrong gender, do something about it. I think that on some level, most of the people that are transgender are people that have a sexual fetish for it, and they just decided to kick it up to the next level, and they don't care who sees it, and they expect you to accept it, and the guy at the gas station to accept it, and damn it, you can't be mean to me. You can't bully me because this is what I want to do. And that's fine. Everybody has the right to do what they want to do. I have no problem with that. If you want to wear a dress out in public, wear a dress out in public, but don't try to change the laws. Don't try to get organizations to change their admissions policies. Don't try to force the military to take you because you're too busy trying to be pretty to go into the military.
What about sexual reassignment surgery? Because it is extremely painful, or not painful, it's extremely expensive.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, what happens if you can't afford it? What if you're one of those people who doesn't have health insurance, or your health insurance won't pay for it?
So if you're a guy aspiring to be a girl and your insurance won't cover it, then you don't get to be a girl. Just that easy. You can dress any way you want to. Makes no difference. You can wear any kind of clothes that you want to, because look, what is clothing? It's really nothing. It just covers up your nakedness. It doesn't really matter.
It's just a wrapper.
It's a wrapper. It doesn't make any difference. But when you go out and you expect people to give you special privileges because of it, when you expect people to accept and celebrate with you that you're transgender, I don't think we even need to have a label for it. I truly don't. When you go out and you have parades and you're fighting for rights, and then you want to go join an organization like the military. Listen, back in the Korean War, you remember the show MASH, right? I mean, who our age doesn't remember MASH?
Klinger.
And you knew where I was going with that. You knew exactly where that was going, right?
He was trying to get kicked out.
Yeah, he was trying to get, what did they call it, a Section 8 crazy diagnosis, because he was always wearing, women's hats and stuff like that.
Yep.
This isn't a new thing. And now this is how society's changed. Back in the 70s, when MASH was on the air, that was comedy for a guy to dress up like a woman and try to pass himself off as crazy. But now, if you did that now, let's say there was a military show out now where they had a Klinger who was wearing his pumps and his skirt and his hat and walking around with white gloves on, being a transgender, making fun of the whole thing. Do you know what kind of shitstorm would blow over that? Do you have any idea?
He was an excessively hairy man.
He was excessively hairy.
So he had these big hairy legs and these big hairy achy arms and these dainty white
and this
gloves.
great big beak. He had a big beak. Mike Fusco is in the YouTube live chat. Thanks, buddy, for coming over. I thought we were kind of just talking to ourselves this morning. He had this great big beak on his face, and he certainly was anything but pretty. You know what I'm saying?
It was Jamie Farr.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they did that same bit today on television, oh my God,
in arms,
there would be hell to pay. Because now there's an organization that monitors that crap. Now there's an organization that says you have to have, they don't say transgender, you have to have gay in every storyline, in every TV show. You have to have some homosexuality. It's got to be there, because if it's not, then you're a bully and you're a hater and you're a bigot. Even if it has nothing to do and it bears no relevance to the storyline, it's got to be there. And I'm sorry. Look,
we call that the token.
Well, no, but see, that's the problem, is they don't want to be the token. They want to be the rule and not the exception.
But before, in the 70s and the 60s, it was like the token black guy.
Yeah.
Because there had to be one African-American representation.
And that's the other thing, is now,
Hispanic representation in every show, because at the time, that was the minority representation that needed there to be a bolster in TV or in whatever industry. So that was the token that had to be interjected. Now it's like the LGBTQ representation has to be the token.
But it can't be. Yeah, I mean, now, and look, I am a very firm proponent that if you are doing a TV show that is period specific and there were no black people in society in that setting, don't add them in now, because then it just takes away from the, but just like the LG, whoever the hell they are.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, whatever. Do you know what this stands for?
Okay. L is lesbian.
Okay,
G is gay.
Yeah, all right.
B. T is transgender. And Q is
Queen? I don't know. I don't know, but we are expected to be educated on this, and we are expected to know these things, and we are expected to tolerate these things, and we are expected to invite it into our homes, and we are expected to dine with it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
The Podgram with Tom and Christy. Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
Quarter after now on the Podgram Live. We're live on YouTube, not on Facebook, because Facebook sucks goats. And then we're also on TuneIn. You can find us on TuneIn. You can't see us, which, I make that sound like it's a bad thing. But then you look at Christy.
Aww.
Where's my damn mouse pointer? There, look at that. How? Let me get Christy by herself in there. Can you do a shot of Christy? Just her? There you go. Oh, erase that damn thing. That's why we did that. That's why that was added in there. But my co-host is gorgeous, so
hey.
I'll deal with the handwritten.
You're not so bad yourself.
Oh, it's just a blurry camera. That's all. And but here's the thing. This is kind of
I'm a big reality TV show watcher, and I do watch some scripted shows, but there's a show on TV called Younger.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of the show because it's the theory of the show, or the premise of the show, is that this mother who is about 40 tries to go back into the workforce after being recently divorced. She has a daughter who's about to enter college, and she has to pay for tuition.
Yeah.
But she's been out of the workforce for 20 years because she left to be married to raise a family. And now she's trying to get back into the workforce, but is finding it difficult because when you're 40,
you're old. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a has-been. And they're like, well, where have you been for the last 20 years?
Right.
What have you been doing?
Yeah. That's what I'm telling. That's saying to Melanie is like, when you're looking for a job, you have to understand you're not fresh out of college anymore. And now they want the young people.
I've been a mom. Yeah. I've been, but so somebody thinks that she's 26.
Yeah.
And hires her because she does look much younger than she is.
Yeah.
So she gets this job and she's like lying to everyone.
Yeah.
Because they think she's 26.
Yeah.
Well, one of the subplots to the show is that one of the other girls she's running a promotional company, and she does a party for a company that is manufacturing things for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
And she goes to the party to meet her friend, and she refers to someone as him or her.
Mm-hmm.
And she smacks the drink out of her hand and she goes, "Don't refer to him as him. Don't you know? There's no gender identity. This is the non-gender identity party."
See, that's the problem. That's the problem, is now you got these people that are saying, well, you can't refer to your toddler as a boy or a girl or give them the pronoun of a boy or a girl because they don't know what they are yet. No, I saw them come out. I know what the hell they are. I know exactly what my kids are.
It either had a twig or it didn't.
That's right. And this whole choose your gender thing.
I mean, there are such a thing as, hermaphroditic, but you have to pick at some point, I mean, when you are born, you have a gender. At some point, you have to, it is absolutely ridiculous for a parent. I think it is irresponsible for a parent to not have a child identify a gender?
I had a hard time with the assistant principal at one of the schools that my kids went to because he wore earrings.
And you have a hard time breathing for some reason.
I do.
Right
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I had a hard time because Mr. Secor had earrings and he had little studs. They were just like little pretty studs. And I had a problem with it, not because he wore earrings. Hey, wear them. But you are influencing children from age kindergarten up to 5th grade. I have a problem with that because what's going to happen is when my son comes home and says to me, I want earrings for Christmas. I want earrings for my birthday. And I'm going to have to say, you know what? Boys don't do that. Oh, well, Mr. Secor. Having said that, am I a hypocrite? Maybe a little bit because I had earrings. But I worked at a frickin' radio station. That's what you did at the big dangly guitars and stuff. That's what you did at the radio.
Everybody did.
I wasn't influencing any little kids. The people that were listening to me on the air and seeing me at remotes and appearances were people who had already made up their mind whether they were going to have earrings or not.
Yeah.
Not 5-year-olds.
That was like a uniform.
It was. If you don't have some dangly guitars, get out.
Yeah. They like passed them out at reception. Like, here you go.
I know. You come to, you got to put this earring on.
Here's your key. Here's your, pass to the washroom.
Yeah.
Here's your dangly earrings.
So, but I've got a problem with people thinking that being a gender is a decision that you make. And it's not. You are what you are. You are born the way you are born. You know, that's like, God, I'm going to get called racist for this one. I know I am. That's like a black dude identifying as a white guy.
I don't think that's being racist.
Well, because I said black guy. Not because of the situation. No. But because I said...
You didn't... You weren't disrespectful in it.
Somebody's going to say, well, but you implied that he didn't want to be black because that was worse than being white, and so he wanted to identify as a white. That's how that's going to get taken out.
It was an example. Come on.
That's like a white guy saying, damn, I wish I was black. Okay, I'm black.
Or it's like any culture not identifying or rejecting their own, own culture.
You can be born into a Catholic family and change that and become Lutheran or whatever. You can change that. You can change your hair color if you want. Mm-hmm. You can change your hairstyle. You can change. Mm-hmm. You can wear, if you're a guy, you can wear girls' clothes. Who cares? But my problem with it begins and ends with, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to shove it in your face, and you have to like it.
And you all have to conform to me.
It's almost like when my mom found out I smoked, and she says, well, I just don't want to see it. I should have probably respected that and not smoked in front of her. But instead, because my dad was a smoker, and after dinner, he used his plate for an ashtray. How nasty is that? Let's do a little, was that a gag I saw? That's so sexy. And so I at least would walk to the microwave and get an ashtray and set it on the table and use an ashtray after dinner. And I saw nothing wrong with smoking there because my dad was smoking there. And it's not like it's not like they didn't smoke in the house and I was destroying the house or whatever. However, out of respect for my mother, I should have taken it outside. Yeah. Or something else, right? Instead of just doing it there. But when we go back to this whole transgender, this completely manufactured, meaningless term. It means nothing. It means man who wears woman's clothes. Why can't you just call it for what it is? And look, again, I don't care. Well, transgender is an actual medical term that is being misused for another purpose. Look, I'm vaping and I don't care who sees it.
I don't care.
I'm vaping and you have to like it.
You're not blowing it in my face.
You have to like it and see it and stop telling me it's bad for me. How dare you?
But the term transgender.
Yes, please do. Continue.
Means that you are actually in the process of going from one gender to another.
Well, trans by itself means moving.
So if you are not
transportation,
therapy,
transporting,
and you are not in the process, you are not under the care of a physician, and you are not in the process of transitioning for you're transforming your gender from one to another.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
That's right. And the actual correct term for what they're doing is called cross-dressing. That's plain and simple. Plain and simple. And listen, I don't care. I mean, if that's what you want to do, women have been wearing men's clothes for years. Why can't it go the other way around?
Absolutely.
Why can't it go the other way around?
I wear Phil's clothes all the time.
My ex.
That's why women get married, so that their clothes
They have
double.
cool clothes to wear.
So our clothes doubles.
Well,
I mean, come on.
It is. But that's, I just, every time I turn around, it's shoved in my face. And now, like TV shows that come on the network, like Nashville, right? I watch Nashville, and of course they've got a gay country star in there, and you can't have a country music show without a gay singer, And it's
I'm so mad about Days of Our Lives. They are shoving these gay sex scenes down my face. I don't mind that there's a gay couple.
Yeah.
I don't mind that there's a gay couple because that representation is fine. I don't mind that there's some kissing. That's okay. So, but it's daytime TV. But I mind that there are love scenes with them in bed.
And that is part of the deal. That's part of the deal with this organization that monitors television and movies and says, no, wait a minute. You can't have a nonchalant type relationship going on. It's got to be a full-blown, steamy, hot, sexual. They even want it in animated movies.
Like a telenovela.
In animated movies, what was the superhero movie, the new superhero movie that was just out not too long ago, and there was a gay character in there, and they got fired up because there was no sex scenes, there was no slathering, there was no steaminess, there was none of that stuff.
Everybody got all pissed off and fired because in the Finding Dory, there was a gay couple at a stroller in one of the scenes, and it's a Disney Pixar film.
Yeah. But there wasn't any neon signs and arrows pointing at it to bring it to the surface.
It was two women standing by a stroller.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And of course, the mainstream Christian went crazy because, that's a gay couple.
Yeah, but then the LBQRSTUVs got on there and said, well, it wasn't blatant enough. It wasn't obvious enough.
Yeah.
It didn't. There wasn't. We saw it pass by, but it wasn't as detailed as we would like to have had it. To be.
The alphabeters went nuts.
The alphabeters, they broke a heel over it, and it's just scratched the nail. And I'm telling you right now, I don't want my. Is it going to come down to the point where I'm going to have to banish animated movies from my kids so they don't have to, because I don't want them to be. The problem is, here's a good example. It's not LBQRS. Here's an example. The Disney Channel has earned my kids an ass whooping more than once, and let me tell you how. Because on the Disney Channel, the programs portray the parents and the adults as total morons.
Yeah.
And the kids are all sarcastic, and they whip off comments at their parents, and they treat them like crap. And then the kids who are watching that stuff think they're going to come to dad and mom and snap off with some sarcasm and treat mom and dad like they're morons. And then they wind up picking their teeth up off the floor. Because Disney has crossed that line where they're portraying parents as being just like if you watch BET, you watch any predominantly black television program. Let's look at the Jeffersons. The white people are idiots.
Yeah.
Sanford and Son. The white people are idiots. Morons.
Yeah.
How do you find your way home? Do you remember to do the paperwork after you sit on the thinking chair? I mean, they just. But now let's turn the tables around a little bit. And if there's a show where they treated other people like that, of other races, oh no, that's not going to work.
But back to this Days of Our Lives thing.
Yeah, back to the days. Yeah. Which, by the way, is one of the few surviving soap operas. I mean, most of them are gone now.
It used to be that during daytime TV shows, I could sit, crochet, do my thing, and the kids could wander in, wander out, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to monitor the content.
Yes.
Where other things that I have DVR'd, you know, I have to shut the door.
Yeah. And
make
preview
sure,
it. Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, there used to be like The Sopranos, for instance.
But now remember, though,
you know,
that The Sopranos came on a pay network, on a premium pay network.
No, I understood.
You know.
Understood. But, I mean, like, there are other shows that came on after 10 o'clock or after 9 o'clock, which is, you know, the bewitching hour when
Yes.
you're not supposed to have anything of a non-sensitive content.
Yeah.
But Days of Our Lives, I shouldn't have to want to keep my door shut and monitor the content.
And screen the stuff first, yeah.
For fear.
Hold that thought.
The Podgram with Tom and Christy.
They're still at it.
I'm walking two people talk about nothing.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
It's 9:30 right now. The Podgram Live. We're not on Facebook today because they, I guess they don't like us and they didn't let us start our broadcast over there. But we are on TuneIn and on YouTube. And if you're hearing this on TuneIn and you want to see the video, it's over on YouTube. So there you go. You can check it out. And today, boy, I've gotten into a really juicy rant today. And you know, it's you know, TV. If anything came on the network, now see, I'm not one who really shields my kids from stuff. I cuss in front of them. You know, I let them see some stuff. But now, what's going on network TV now is too much.
Well, back to Disney.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be that you could trust that. Okay, well, it's on network TV. It's not going to be too bad for the kids. But now, you don't know. All right, back to Disney.
No, I mean, even 3 years ago, I never would have thought to monitor Disney as heavily as I do now. I mean, my daughter used to watch Good Luck Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's another one of those shows where the parents are idiots. Yeah.
The parents did come off as idiots, but.
Meanwhile, there's a dog that has a blog. I mean, you know. Oh, no, that's a different one. Yeah. No, Good Luck Charlie is they're doing the video for the kid who's a baby so that later on they can, and then they always, good luck. I never understood the whole purpose.
So Good Luck Charlie.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, I liked the characters. I liked the family dynamics and stuff like that. And, you know, I wound up kind of getting a little addicted to it too. I mean, I enjoyed watching it with my kids, but now there's a show called Andy Mack. And of course, Andy and I liked it because Andy,
right.
It's a girl. She
right.
looks like her, you know, she's tall, she's skinny, looks like my daughter, you know, it's kind of cool. Like, yay, can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, the first season was pretty cool. The second season, well, Cyrus is kind of in love with Andy's boyfriend.
I see. And there we go. And there it begins. See.
And now,
let me ask you a question. When you go out in public, do you discuss the goings-on between you and your husband that take place in private? Or are you just like two people that happen to be hanging out going through Walmart together?
Yeah.
Are you like scrogging in the aisles? Or are you just like, oh, look, honey, there's the weed eaters? You know
we hold hands.
And that's fine. Oh, but what I'm talking about is, are you arm in arm shoving your face in gay people's faces saying, look, we're heterosexual and this is what you should do? Do you do that to people? Do you do that? Because that's what the people are. Oh, look, we're gay and you should be gay and blah, 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 blah. Well, hey, guess what? You can't have kids. You can't procreate. So there's a plus there. If you were supposed to be doing that, then you'd be able to procreate. But again and again, freedom of choice. If it's good for you, it's good for you. But I don't need you to shove it in my face.
I see your point.
Let me choose if I see it, and don't call me a bigot and a racist and a hater because I don't want to see it.
No, I mean, but I know a lot of gay people whom I feel would be incredible parents.
What was the girl's name that was Nikki's friend? Patty. Patty, I've heard tell that she's not with us anymore. But anyway, Patty was openly gay. And this is back in like 94, 96-ish, right? She was cool. Yes. I liked her. She was cool. But it wasn't. Here's the other problem. It's almost like, you ever know one of these self-proclaimed preachers that every conversation you have with them within 5 minutes turns into a Bible discussion?
Yeah.
And how you're going to hell because you're not living your life right? Okay, so I know a guy like this. And you can call him up and say, wow, man, I'm in really low today. Bad thing happened. Well, you're going to hell because you didn't, No, but the same thing applies to the LBGRQs. Every conversation you have with them, most of them, I'm not going to put everybody in the same bag, but I'm going to put a lot of people in the bag. Everyone that I've had any exposure to, when you have a conversation with them, within 5 minutes, it's got to turn into something gay. No matter how manly the topic is to begin with, internal combustion engines turns into some kind of a gay thing. And I don't, you know what? Look, Patty was not like that. Patty would talk. No. Patty would just keep it right on the level with you all. Because here's the deal. When people talk to me, I don't turn it into a heterosexual thing. I don't start talking about my sexual preferences 5 minutes into a conversation about gasoline engines or whatever it is. Because that's not what it's about.
But with me, it winds up turning into a fat thing.
Every conversation?
Like, a lot of the time, it winds up turning into a weight loss thing.
Well, but when the situation calls for it, though, I don't think, because I have never had the experience that you and I were talking about something and then you just went off the path of, yeah, well, fucking, I was fat.
No, it's that, oh yeah, I've been gaining weight and,
Did you hear that? I slipped a bad word in there. Did you catch that?
I did. Yeah. But I was just going to gloss over it. I almost
slipped it in there.
I was just going to gloss over it.
I didn't say the first letter. I said uckin. But it did slip and it wasn't supposed to. Yeah. I just broke the cardinal rule of broadcasting. When you screw up, don't draw attention to it. But I did.
And I did my best to just
ignore it.
Right
just
over
walk.
it.
Yep, you did.
I let it go.
You're
I
awesome.
didn't even let my face change.
I know. You acted like I didn't even do it, right? Yeah. So anyway, and I've actually said that.
But it does.
I said that on the air before.
You did?
I did.
Oops.
Yeah, more than once.
See, that just shows how comfortable we are. You just right out.
Well,
yeah. But I have a group of people that, I've been around a lot and they know I had a gastric bypass and they know that I've lost a lot of weight. And
well, see, then there's curiosity that comes with that. There's curiosity involved in that.
We wind up talking about food and we wind up talking about recipes. And then we wind up talking about, this is going to be a lot of calories. And then we wind up talking about weight loss. And then we wind up talking about.
Okay, but here's the difference. Your friends are aware. And that is a topic of discussion amongst you and your friends because it is part of who you are.
All the time.
Now, but you don't go into the convenience store on the chip aisle and say, I had a gastric bypass and you shouldn't eat that. You don't force it into anybody's, you're fat and you shouldn't eat those chips. Go get a gastric bypass like I did because my friends and I, we have something in common. Now, here's the difference. We used to hang around the Waffle House. It's a coffee shop, so like a diner, right? Do you guys even have them up there yet? I'm sure.
No.
Anyway.
We don't have Waffle House, but.
It's like a diner. And it's the short order cook and whatever. We used to sit there and drink coffee and BS with the waitresses and each other and talk about our man stuff, and building garages and sheds and the whole nine. And then there was a day when the freak show came in. Now, let me tell you about the freak show. It was these guys in trench coats with white makeup all over their face and eyeliner and really weird hairdos, black hair.
Oh, the goth people.
The goth people came in and they sat down and they were obnoxious. They were loud. They were disruptive. They didn't order anything to eat or drink other than water because it was free. And they sat in there and they destroyed the booth, drawing on the napkins, balling them up, dipping them in their water, flicking them at each other, climbing in and out from underneath the booth, and just generally being a real pain in the ass, the kind of stuff that I'd beat my kids for doing in public, right?
And taking up a table so a waitress couldn't get more tips.
Because those waitresses make $2.35 an hour, and that's, and then when they leave, they've completely destroyed the booth. The waitress has 20 minutes of cleaning to do to fix what they did to it, and they don't even so much as leave a tip. Not even a penny. Now, those people had no business being in there, forcing their ideas and their presence on everybody else who was in there, who was paying customers, who had a reason to be there. This is, and it's funny because David would say, when they'd come rolling up, here comes the freak show. And everybody's laughing at them. There was this one kid that had this hair that came in one time. It was like mohawk spikes. And it looked like, remember those rocket pops, those blue and red and white popsicles you got off the ice cream truck that were shaped like rockets? That's what his hair looked like. It looked like he had those all down his hair. And I'm looking at him one night, and I saw that he came in like a little small like Honda car, right? And I'm looking at him, and he looks at me and says, "You got a problem?" And I said, "No, not really." He says, "What are you looking at?" So I'm trying to figure out how you drive that car with that hair. He says, "Well, I got to turn my head sideways." I'm like, "Oh, okay." That's, Similarly, I was at Lowe's, and one of those guys in the, you know what a donk is? The car? They'll take a square-bodied 80s model.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and put great big wheels on it and jack it way up like a 4x4, and, they call them donks. And I was at Lowe's one day, and this guy comes wheeling up in his donk, and I'm looking at it. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, boy, that looks ridiculous. That looks completely stupid. But he likes it. It's his car, whatever, right? Yeah. So I'm standing out front of the Lowe's, and he walks up, and I'm looking at it. He says, "You got a problem?" I said, "No." He says, "What are you looking at?" I said, "Well, I'm just wondering how that handles with those tires like that. How does that drive?" And he says, "Oh, man." And he loosened it. "Oh, not very good." But the thing is, the original intention of the freak show kid, the original intention of the dude with the donk was to shove it in my face. Yes, you can't hate on me because I have this. You might think it looks completely stupid, but you have to respect me and love me and treat me with respect and care and act like you like my junk, even if you don't. And that's the attitude. That's the difference between those people and the people who say, "Hey, Christy, yeah, I mean, you had a gastric bypass." These are people These are topics you've covered and you talk about. Yeah. You and I can do Weight Loss Wednesday. But for the people that don't want to look at it, that don't want to hear about it, well, they can just click off like all the other people do. They just go away. But I can't stand it when somebody takes their idea of the way it is and shoves it in your face, whether you want to see it or not. It's just as disrespectful as walking past somebody on your way into the store and blowing smoke all over them because you smoke and they don't.
There have been other people in history who've had that ideal and idealism, and it was Hitler.
Well, and that's right. But people think that it's not only my right to live like, yes, if you want to be a cross-dresser, if you want to wear that, if you want to drive a stupid ass looking car, if you want to smoke, whatever you want to do, it is your right, as long as it doesn't infringe upon others. If I don't want to see you and your boyfriend licking each other in the parking lot, I shouldn't have to see that.
I mean, I don't go out in public shoving my tongue down somebody's throat.
I don't have a parade because I'm heterosexual. My wife and I don't march.
See that. I don't want to see heterosexual people sucking face in public.
We don't have to have a bumper sticker for our heterosexual marriage.
Get a room.
We don't have a flag. Yeah, I know, right? We don't have a flag. Ew. We don't have a pride thing. Look, it's just we are what we are.
I'm married. I've been married long enough that I'm no longer proud.
You've been married long enough, you're just friends now. I said that one time and I almost got my ass whipped.
Kids, damn it.
I almost got my ass whipped.
I was proud and then I had kids.
Oh, I know. They'll just drag the life out of you. Let me tell you what. I don't know what it is about kids that my kids specifically will take their toys and use them as weapons against the other kids in the house. And I'll give you an example.
fun.
Give you an example. Behind my chair is a chain that hooks across so that to remind the people in the room, don't stand all up behind me. And because my kids and even other people, if I'm looking at something on the computer, people want to come up behind me and they want to stand all over me like this. They're like, oh, I see that over there. And I don't like people all over me.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't touch my screen. Don't lean on me. Don't lean against the back of my chair. Don't trap me in. So I got this plastic chain that goes from over here to over here. And it's just it's like a landscaping chain. It looks like a real chain, but it's not. Yeah. It's just plastic. I had some left over, and Steve took it, and he was using it on his Mater tow truck to tow other cars around. Sure, why not, buddy? There you go. Take it. About a month ago, Steve had taken a dog chain, a choker chain for a dog, and had beat Travis with it. I don't know why. He was pissed about something. So I took it away, and I cut it up, and I threw it in the trash, because we don't need that anymore. We don't have any dogs that wear that. And so I guess yesterday, he took that plastic chain and beat Travis with that plastic chain. So I had to take it away. Why is it that my kids feel the urge to turn their toys into weapons? Why can't they ever get along and just be nice to each other? Ever.
Who knows?
Ever. And Emily, the teenager, she's mouthy. She's mouthy to me. The only reason I haven't smacked her down the stairs is because I'm standing there in disbelief. Did she just say that to me? Disney Channel.
Well,
just telling you.
Maybe you should play that liner thing.
I probably should.
The Podgram with Tom and Christy.
They're still at it.
I'm walking two people talk about nothing.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
Quarter till 10. Oh, sorry. 2, 3, 4. I'm supposed to let the music establish before I start talking over it, which is true. That's true. It's just good broadcasting practice. But I get excited, and I can't wait. It's 9:47 right here on the Podgram. We're live on YouTube and on the TuneIn app, but not on Hatebook today because I guess they've seen enough of us. No more video for you here. You go now. You be here 5 weeks. And so.
Well, we wanted to talk a little bit today about what's going on in Texas.
Was that Leon Valley, Texas?
Leon Valley.
We got a news clip here, so let's.
Because it is Shark Week.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but like Shark Week used to be like a big deal in our house.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we used to love us some Shark Week.
You remember when I moved to Texas, right?
I do.
And I was there for like 6 months before I realized the people that I was working for were complete freak jobs. Yeah. I had to get out of there. So I was going to come back to work here in North Carolina, and there was a job opportunity, and I had to fly here to interview for the job. And of course, they covered the airfare for me and everything else. They flew me in for an interview. And so what did I do for the entire week prior to flying to North Carolina? I watched the Discovery Channel program called like Terror in the Skies or something like that. And it was a week-long presentation about plane crashes and all this. And I don't like to fly anyways. And I watched that. That's almost like watching Shark Week before you go to the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, before you go on a cruise.
How were you
Shark
thinking?
Week and
Yes.
watching the Titanic while you're, on a boat.
Tonight on Unfriendly Skies. Yeah, tonight on Unfriendly Skies. Yeah, Tom Moog flies to Raleigh-Durham for a job interview, but the plane never makes it.
Well, then, later we're going to come back to Raleigh-Durham.
Yeah.
It's the second part, if we get that far, which it looks like we're not going to. But
wow, the engine's on fire. How long do you think it'll fly? All the way to the scene of the crash. All right. That's a Ron White thing. I stole that from Ron White. Okay, let's take a look at the news clip here. Do this, and then
It is not every day we tell you about a stolen shark. This one only 2 feet long, not a predator, but still a shark. Taken from the San Antonio Aquarium on Saturday.
We first told you about this today at 5. Still no sign of that shark. But Jesse Degollado reports Leon Valley police have impounded the suspect vehicle in this case, and they are now talking to a person of interest. Jesse joins us live in the newsroom. This has to be a first for a lot of people, Jesse.
Me and the chief and the people at the aquarium. Now, this is called a horn shark because of the horn-like shapes behind its eyes. Stolen the day before Shark Week begins, much less. That's why Leon Valley Police initially thought it was a hoax.
I've seen a lot of dogs and cats stolen, but never a shark. They took the shark and put it into a wet blanket and threw it in a stroller and left with it.
Those cameras, as you saw, apparently caught 3 suspects Saturday afternoon with other visitors in the area. They went to the open-air exhibit that allows people to reach into the water to try to touch some of the fish. But to actually grab one out of the water by its tail and get out before shocked employees could stop them?
This is definitely somebody who knows what they're doing, what they had, and then when they're specifically for that shark.
I just want to make sure that this doesn't happen again, that people are held responsible for their actions, and that people who are willing to do something like this, especially if the shark hasn't made it, are brought to justice.
Leon Valley Police have been talking to a person of interest and pursuing other leads. Leon Valley Police also have contacted NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, about the theft. This is still a developing story. We'll keep you posted online and on air. Jesse.
So who the hell steals a shark? What are you going to do with it? Oh, I guess I need
pure ante.
I guess I need to turn your microphone back on, don't I? Yeah.
There's the ultimate Shark Week, one-upper.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to throw a Shark Week party. All right, so last year, Betsy made a Shark Week cake, and it looked like it had, stuff spewing out its mouth. Well, all right, this year I'm going to steal me a shark.
Who does that? And not only that, but what do you...
Stupid people! That's who!
What? Right. I mean, I get that. But once you get it home, what the hell do you do with it?
Apparently, you put it in your friggin' fish tank.
It's a big fish tank. Hey,
and
look.
it eats everything else in your fish tank.
We're going to take this home and put it in the pool.
Well, I mean, they had to have had a buyer. Like they said, they had to have known what they had.
Yeah.
And they had to have had a buyer for it.
Who steals a shark? Well, I mean, I guess they do. Yeah. Good times.
And today on the Stupid Files.
Tonight on shark theft. Yeah. Now you shared something else with me today that I think is really kind of cool.
Well, before we get to your truck love.
All right.
Because I know you do love you some truck.
I'm a trucker. Yeah.
No, let's get to the truck love because the other one we'll talk about tomorrow.
3/4 ton big block Allison transmission. I was talking to my my neighbor. I need to pull a picture of those guys so I can show you my neighbors. Bobby and Lisa replaced the Hispanics that ate their dogs at the first house on the street. Anyway, he's got also a 3/4 ton Chevy pickup. Same year as same year as my GMC. His is diesel. Mine is earth killing, big block gas guzzler.
Really?
And he says, "Man, I love the way your truck sounds when it rumbles by." I'm like, "Yeah, but it costs so much money to make it do that." Can't afford. That's why it sits down there all the time because I can't afford to rumble it by because of that. But you sent me this picture here. This is cool because this is a new truck, but they've done a retro job on it. You can see right here that's got the Chevy, the fender tag on it, and then back here it's got, you can't see it, but it says like Big Ten or something. It's a retro sticker, from the 70s and 80s pickup trucks. This is very, very tastefully done. They put the wheels on there. Of course, it's just a half ton, but they got the wheels on. It's a perfect blend of new and old, I think, and I really, really like that. I mean, I think it looks.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
I do, and it looks really cool. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go because there's other ones too. There's other pictures of it too. So let me go back and see if I can find one of the other ones. Here's one. No. See, I'm not a good multitasker. I am not a good multitasker. Okay, so that's the top. This is the top choice. All right, so let's zoom in on that. Let's zoom in on that. This is a Chevy LTZ, but this is cool. I mean, look at this.
It is pretty.
It's got the SS Rally wheels on it. It's, you know, it's a nice square-bodied truck. But then, of course, when you go down into the comments, there's the haters. There's the haters. Stupid ass rake on that. I don't know why they do that with all trucks. Why they put that stupid. That one doesn't have any rake on it. Let me find the other one. And you can follow along here. Watch me what I do. In the corner there. Let me see. The first one had some rake on it. So let's go back and look at that one again. And what rake is here, let me come on. Too many things. What rake is where the back end sits slightly higher than the front end. And the reason that they do that on trucks is because as soon as you put something in the back of the truck, then it sits level. Mm-hmm. If you don't put some rake on the truck and you just throw stuff in the back and it's level, then the back end starts to squat and sag and it looks like a little wimpy ass truck. Yeah. Now, by contrast, I'm going to do a search here for, and the people that are bitching about it are the ones that drive trucks that look like, let's see, larger than this. Oh, come on. Where is it? Where is it? There was one here a minute ago. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Let's open this link in a new tab and let's view that image. Okay. This is a big trend. I don't know if this is happening there, but it's happening here. And they call this the Carolina squat.
Oh.
Yeah. Now.
America,
yeah. Not only, but look at the wheels that are on it. Look how wide the tires are, and look how it squats its ass in the rear. And this is a big deal here.
It looks broken.
It looks like it's got broken springs. It looks like they can only afford to do half the lift. I'm going to lift my truck front first, then the back. I'll come back and get the back.
It looks like it's been involved in a police chase.
It looks like it's got a ton of concrete in the back. But these are the same people that complain about the rake. Now, not only, they claim that this makes them look intimidating. It looks intimidating to have a truck that looks like this. No, it looks like your truck's broken. It looks like you're always going uphill. That's what it looks like.
It's ridiculous.
And they put loud exhaust on it to really draw attention to themselves. And they do it to SUVs as well. And then now what's interesting about the whole thing is then when they go to sell it, like on Hatebook or Craigslist or something like that, they think this magically now has more value because it's done that way.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's, I love that. Like on Judge Judy, when, somebody will crash somebody's car and they want to be reimbursed for it. Well, I put $3,000 worth of tires on that, and I put X amount of dollars worth. Well, I don't care. Blue Book says it's only worth $3,000. Right. It's not my fault. You put $12,000 worth of modifications.
Well, that's like my truck. When I got in an accident with my truck, the insurance company could have cared less that I had $1,000 worth of brand new tires on. But look, here's they're doing it to the SUVs as well. This is like a Tahoe.
Really?
Yeah, this is what they're doing. And so and they think it looks intimidating. And I don't understand. I don't understand why that looks intimidating. It looks broken. I think it would look much better if the back end was the same height as the front end. Don't you think?
It does look stupid.
It does. And boy, these guys, they just, So I pull into a gas station one night. And how much time do we have left? What the hell just happened? I don't know what happened, but our little thing stopped working too. It's a day. It's a day of broken stuff. I should, just blow out and just start cussing right now.
No.
That's what I really want to do right now. Just start cussing and just blow a gasket. That's exactly what I want to do. Anyway, so we got about 60 seconds left in any case. So I'm at this gas station, and there's two of these guys in the Tahoe and the one in a pickup truck that are sagging ass like this. And they say, look at that old man's ugly ass truck over there. And he didn't say it to me, but he said it loud enough where he knew I'd hear it. And I walked over to him. I said, you know what? That truck is ugly as hell, isn't it? But these trucks here that you guys have, these are toys and nothing but noise. You want a real truck? I'll get you a 3/4 ton with a big block. Then you got something. That's how that works out. That's how that works out, punk ass bitch. All right. Well, that's the end of our deal for today. Hope you guys had a good time after Facebook screwed us and then after all this stuff happened. Anyway, have a good day, and we will see you tomorrow.
The Podgram, copyright 2018, Big Tower Media. So don't be stealing our stuff.